Beloved chosen one, there is a sacred process unfolding within you, one that defies logic, transcends medical diagnosis, and cannot be confined to the explanations of science alone. You feel it, the tightness in your chest, the nausea in your stomach, the waves of exhaustion that appear without warning, yet no doctor can offer an answer. Why? Because what you are experiencing is not ordinary, it is divine, it is the awakening, the chosen arising, and with that rise comes a great internal shift. Spiritual ascension is not just about light and expansion, it demands a profound adjustment of the body, mind and spirit. Your human form, long conditioned to the weight of the material world, now struggles to adapt to the higher frequency your soul is stepping into. The result? What we now understand as ascension diseases, unexplained symptoms, pains that come and go, sensitivities that seem to intensify out of nowhere. But hear this, chosen one, you are not broken, you are breaking free. Your spirit is shedding the old, stepping into divine alignment, and your body is responding. Migraines, dizziness, muscle pain, extreme fatigue, sudden nausea, these are not illnesses in the traditional sense. They are signs, signals that your energy field is adjusting to receive something greater, something holy. In today's video, we're going to explore the deeper meaning behind these ascension symptoms, why they happen, what they truly reveal, and most importantly, how you can move through this sacred phase with grace, clarity, and balance. If you felt more sensitive lately, more disconnected from the world, if you've been asking questions no one seems to have answers for, then this message is for you. Stay with me until the very end. What I share may not only bring relief, but also unlock a sense of purpose behind everything you're experiencing. And before we begin, I want to take a sacred moment to thank those who've supported this mission through the Super Thanks feature. Your contributions help keep this message alive and growing. Whether you give or simply watch with an open heart, know that I am deeply, sincerely grateful for your presence here. Every ounce of your energy is felt, and it matters. If you feel this message stirring something deep within, I invite you to comment 777, a sign of spiritual alignment, divine guidance, and connection with the light. Let's begin this journey together. God's chosen ones, diseases of ascension, the spiritual meaning behind the knot in your stomach. Spiritual ascension is not just an abstract concept or a distant idea. It is a real transformation that happens within each chosen one who awakens to their true essence. But have you ever wondered why your body suddenly reacts in strange ways just when you're feeling more connected to your spiritual path? What if the knot in your stomach, the migraines, or the intense fatigue you can't explain are not signs of illness, but signs that your soul is evolving faster than your body can handle? As one of God's chosen ones, you're not experiencing random discomforts. You're undergoing a divine metamorphosis. In the book of Romans 12:2, we are reminded, "Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind." This transformation isn't only mental or emotional, it extends into the physical. As your spirit rises to a higher frequency, your body, still made of the dust of the earth, is called to keep up. That tension between the spiritual and the physical often results in what we now recognize as ascension symptoms. You may feel dizzy without reason, suffer from migraines that don't respond to medication, or find yourself overwhelmed by lights, sounds, or even people's emotions. But the doctors can't find anything wrong. The scans are clean, the blood tests are normal. So what's really happening? It's because the true source isn't biological, it's energetic. It's the Holy Spirit fine-tuning your vessel to carry more light. 1 Corinthians 6:19 says, "Do you not know that your bodies are temples of the Holy Spirit, who is in you, whom you have received from God. Your temple is being renovated from the inside out. This very path has been walked before. Take Florence Nightingale, for example, the pioneer of modern nursing. Many historians now believe that she experienced long bouts of fatigue, visions, and strange illnesses. But she interpreted them as divine signs and carried on with a deep sense of calling. Her sickness was her sacred sensitivity. Or look at Nikola Tesla, who reported receiving visions and sensations from beyond this world, while also suffering from chronic headaches and sensitivities. These weren't ailments, they were activations. And more recently, look at singer Lauryn Hill, who stepped away from fame due to intense emotional and physical upheaval, only to return years later, speaking of spiritual realignment and purpose. These aren't coincidences. These are the birth pangs of transformation. As Jesus said in Luke 17:21, "The kingdom of God is within you." That inner kingdom must break through the walls of the old you. It's not always graceful, but it is always sacred. So why does this process hurt? Why must the chosen feel so broken before they feel reborn? Perhaps the pain you feel is not punishment, but purification. As Psalm 66:10 declares, "For you, God, tested us. You refined us like silver." Could it be that the discomfort in your stomach isn't random stress, but spiritual fire refining you? The mind, too, is drawn into this sacred storm. You may feel emotional swings, unexplained sadness, bursts of clarity, followed by waves of confusion. This is the spiritual recalibration of your entire being. You're not going crazy, you're waking up. And in this awakening, God is aligning every part of you with your divine assignment. Isaiah 40:31 gives you a promise in this transition. But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not be faint. This isn't just poetry. It is prophecy for the chosen. Ascension is a path of expansion, but also of release. But have you ever wondered why your spiritual growth seems to bring not only peace, but also pain? Why do moments of divine breakthrough often come with episodes of emotional chaos, muscle tension, or physical sickness? As one of God's chosen ones, you are not just stepping into a higher version of yourself, you are also shedding layers of who you used to be. And that shedding is not always gentle. Spiritual elevation is not about floating effortlessly into the heavens. It's about surrendering to a fire that burns away everything unworthy of the light you're about to carry. Your old traumas, repressed emotions, and limiting beliefs must rise to the surface so they can be purged. And often, that purification is felt first in your body. Have you experienced strange fevers, deep muscle aches, or unexplained nausea lately? These aren't ordinary symptoms. They are signs that your spirit is cleansing itself. As Malachi 3:3 tells us, He will sit as a refiner and purifier of silver. He will purify and refine them like gold and silver. You are in the furnace, but only because God sees the gold in you. During this sacred unraveling, your nervous system becomes one of the first to react. It's not just trying to keep up with your daily stress. It's being flooded with new frequencies of divine energy. These frequencies, unfamiliar to the earthly body, can cause anxiety, sleeplessness, and even moments where your body feels like it's vibrating or collapsing under pressure. But these symptoms are not signs of weakness. They are proof that heaven is rewiring your system. As Romans 8:11 says, "The Spirit of Him who raised Jesus from the dead is living in you. He will also give life to your mortal bodies." That life comes in waves, sometimes soothing, sometimes overwhelming, but always transformational. Consider the story of Harriet Tubman. Most people know her as the courageous woman who led hundreds of enslaved people to freedom, but fewer know she suffered from a traumatic brain injury that caused vivid dreams, seizures, and powerful visions. She believed they were divine messages from God, and she trusted them even when they came through pain. Her suffering became her compass. Or consider actor Jim Carrey. After reaching the peak of fame, he experienced crippling depression and spiritual emptiness, but instead of running from it, he dove inward, emerging later with deep insights about identity, ego, and divine presence. And more recently, mental health advocate and artist Demi Lovato has spoken publicly about how her emotional and physical breakdowns led her to explore spirituality and healing beyond the physical. Do you see the pattern? Each of them, like you, was chosen for a higher mission, but before their mission was clear, the inner storm had to be faced. The stomach, specifically, is often the battleground where this spiritual warfare plays out. You may wake up with a knot in your gut, feel waves of nausea for no clear reason, or even have moments when food becomes hard to digest. Why? Because your solar-plexus chakra, the energy center that governs personal power, identity, and transformation, is being activated. It's like a dam breaking open. Everything you once suppressed, fear, shame, doubt, now rushes to the surface to be released. This is why you feel physically sick. Your body is trying to keep up with the spiritual expansion of your soul. Philippians 1:6 offers you assurance in this process, being confident of this, that he who began a good work in you will carry it on to completion. God has started something in you, chosen one, and though it may tremble your body, it will not break you. In these moments, it's easy to feel like something is going wrong. You might even wonder, am I being punished? But perhaps the better question is, what is being purged from me so that I can finally walk in the fullness of my calling? As you let go, heaven is making room. As your body shakes, your soul stands taller. And though you may not recognize yourself right now, the version of you that's being birthed is the one God always saw. Ascension diseases are not punishments, nor signs that something is wrong. But what if the very discomfort you're experiencing is proof that you're finally on the right path? What if the fatigue, the tension in your body, the sleepless nights, aren't warnings of failure, but confirmations of growth? As one of God's chosen ones, your soul is being stretched into a new dimension. Your body, in all its earthly limitation, is simply trying to keep up with a frequency it has never carried before. You see, this transformation may feel foreign, even frightening, but it is sacred. When your body trembles, it's because heaven is speaking a new language through your cells. You're not breaking down, you're breaking through. 2 Corinthians 4:16 reminds us, though outwardly we are wasting away, yet inwardly we are being renewed day by day. What appears as weakness on the outside is often divine renewal from within. This process is not random, it is intentional. Your body, wired for survival, does not initially understand this influx of light. So it reacts, it resists, it tries to maintain balance in the only way it knows, by signaling pain, fatigue, or discomfort. But these symptoms are not to be feared. They are signs that you are integrating a new spiritual reality. As Isaiah 41:10 reassures, so do not fear, for I am with you. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. Many have walked this path before you, often in silence, misunderstood by the world around them. Take Alanis Morissette, the Grammy-winning singer-songwriter who has openly spoken about her emotional crashes and spiritual awakenings. At times, her body would break down in exhaustion, yet those were the moments that brought her deepest lyrics and rawest truth. Or look at author Paulo Coelho, whose intense spiritual awakening as a young man was so overwhelming that he was institutionalized, yet it gave birth to his global bestseller, The Alchemist, a story deeply rooted in divine purpose. And consider the late Kobe Bryant, who often spoke of the Mamba mentality, a mindset forged through pain, solitude, and relentless transformation. Behind the physical discipline was a spiritual fire many never saw. When you begin to recognize these symptoms for what they truly are, signals of elevation rather than breakdown, you reclaim your peace. That's the first step, awareness. To see your struggles not as obstacles, but as invitations to awaken. As Jesus said in John 16:33, "In this world you will have trouble, but take heart, I have overcome the world." Your trial is not permanent. It is part of your training. And you must also know this: no two ascension journeys are the same. For some, the symptoms pass quickly, like a whisper through the wind. For others, they linger, like a sacred storm meant to cleanse deeper roots. Which are you experiencing, chosen one? Have your days been filled with sudden waves of heat, emotional turbulence, or the need to rest without understanding why? These are not setbacks, these are sacred recalibrations. But perhaps the most important truth in this phase is this: you must honor your own rhythm. You cannot rush your resurrection. Ecclesiastes 3:1 declares, "There is a time for everything, and a season for every activity under the heavens." Your season of growth may not look like anyone else's, and that is not only acceptable, it is divinely designed. So don't force healing. Don't compare your awakening to others. Instead, ask yourself, what is God unfolding in me during this specific phase of discomfort? What sacred wisdom is being planted in the soil of my pain? Each moment of surrender moves you closer to alignment. Each breath through the discomfort is a testament to your courage. And even when you don't see the full picture, trust this: the very symptoms you fear might be the echoes of your soul finally coming alive. Many chosen ones report moments of intense fatigue, as if their strength has been drained. But have you ever woken up more exhausted than when you went to sleep, feeling as though something deep within you was at war through the night? Have you caught yourself needing more rest than usual, unable to explain the heaviness pressing against your chest or the weight in your limbs? This isn't laziness. This isn't weakness. As one of God's chosen ones, you're undergoing a sacred transformation, and it's costing you more energy than you realize. Spiritual ascension draws upon the deepest reserves of your soul. Your body, while noble in its design, is still tethered to the laws of the physical world. So when divine energy begins to flood your spirit, your system must work overtime to recalibrate. That exhaustion you feel isn't failure, it's feedback. It's your body saying, something new is being born inside you. As Isaiah 40:31 reminds us, "But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will walk and not be faint." The weariness is temporary, but the renewal is eternal. In these moments, self-care becomes sacred. Rest is not avoidance, it is alignment. Hydration is not routine, it is replenishment. And your spiritual practices, whether prayer, meditation, or stillness, are the bridges that connect your evolving soul to a grounded body. These are not luxuries. They are your lifelines during ascension. Think of Frida Kahlo, the revolutionary painter whose physical suffering was constant. Yet during her most painful years, her creative energy exploded, producing art that was raw, spiritual, and profoundly intuitive. Her body was breaking, but her soul was expanding. Or consider theologian Henry Nouwen, who battled seasons of deep emotional fatigue and spiritual confusion, yet his writings became beacons of clarity for generations. And most recently, actor Andrew Garfield spoke of his intense emotional transformation while preparing for his role in Silence, a film about Christian persecution. He described moments of deep exhaustion paired with moments of sacred revelation, something that forever changed his worldview. Could it be that your own moments of depletion are doorways into deeper revelation? As your body begins to adapt to the new frequency, the struggle begins to ease. Slowly, the fog lifts, your mind becomes sharper, your thoughts feel lighter. You may begin to hear the whisper of the Holy Spirit more clearly, or feel divine nudges guiding your decisions. 1 Corinthians 2:10 declares, "These are the things God has revealed to us by His Spirit. The Spirit searches all things, even the deep things of God." Your clarity is not accidental. It is spiritual evidence of your evolution. Your intuition becomes heightened, not in a mystical or vague sense, but as a precise, sacred knowing that flows from your connection to God. You begin to recognize truth, not just in words, but in silence. You discern energy. You feel purpose. You no longer force, because now you flow. And in that flow, you return to your essence, the person God originally designed you to be before the world distorted your identity. That's the promise of this journey. But it begins by understanding that what you're going through is not abnormal. It's divine. You must learn to recognize the signs of ascension not as disruptions, but as initiations. Hebrews 12:11 tells us, "No discipline seems pleasant at the time, but painful. Later on, however, it produces a harvest of righteousness and peace." The chaos is real, but the harvest is greater. So if you find yourself wondering, what's wrong with me? Maybe the better question is, what's changing in me? The truth is, your body is adjusting to your evolution. You're not falling behind, you're being refined. What feels like falling apart is actually the breaking of old limitations, and the fatigue you carry is not yours alone. It's the weight of the mantle God is preparing you to carry. Psalm 121:3 assures you, "He will not let your foot slip. He who watches over you will not slumber." Even in your deepest exhaustion, you are never unseen. Even in silence, heaven is working. Spiritual ascension does not happen only at the level of consciousness. Have you ever felt strange physical sensations that no doctor could explain? Head pressure, dizziness, nausea, or even sudden food sensitivities. Have you ever asked, why is this happening to me now, when I'm trying to grow spiritually? As one of God's chosen ones, these moments are not random. Your physical body is not separate from your spiritual journey. It is a vital part of it. And it, too, must evolve to carry the light you're being called to hold. This sacred transformation isn't just spiritual, it's cellular. As your consciousness expands, the body must recalibrate to keep pace. But because it is still bound by earthly patterns, this recalibration often shows up as mysterious symptoms. Pressure in the head, sudden dizziness, nausea, heightened sensitivity. These aren't malfunctions, they are manifestations. Romans 8:11 declares, "And if the spirit of him who raised Jesus from the dead is living in you, he will also give life to your mortal bodies." That divine life is stirring within you, and your body is responding. One of the earliest signs many chosen ones experience is a strange pressure in the head. Sometimes it's a light pulsing near the forehead. Other times it's a sharp migraine-like pain that arrives suddenly and refuses to be soothed by medicine. Why? Because your pineal gland, the spiritual antenna often called the seat of the soul, is being activated. This tiny gland, long dormant in most people, begins to awaken during ascension, tuning your perception to higher realities. You're not just thinking differently, you're literally being rewired to see, hear, and sense beyond the natural. As you undergo this inner upgrade, your brain begins to operate on a new frequency. This can feel overwhelming, but it is holy. Isaiah 55:9 reminds us, "As the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts." You are being aligned with thoughts from above, and your brain, your human processor, is catching up. Visionary scientist and mystic Emanuel Swedenborg documented powerful spiritual awakenings in the 1700s, which brought him not only insight into heavenly realms, but also severe head pains and sensory overloads. His writings reveal how physical symptoms accompanied his divine revelations. Similarly, spiritual teacher Caroline Myss spoke of battling nausea, disorientation, and intense head pressure during her own awakening, which later led her to write best-selling works on energy medicine and spiritual intuition. Even NBA player Kyrie Irving has publicly acknowledged the third eye and spiritual shifts he's experienced, noting bodily effects like headaches and deep fatigue during intense spiritual alignment. Another symptom often reported by the chosen is dizziness. Have you ever felt the ground move beneath your feet as though you're walking in a dream or floating in unfamiliar air? This isn't vertigo, it's vibrational realignment. As your soul rises, your body struggles to stabilize. Everything you once felt grounded in begins to dissolve. Psalm 18:33 assures us, "He makes my feet like the feet of a deer. He causes me to stand on the heights." Your dizziness is not disorientation, it's preparation for higher ground. Then there's the stomach, that sacred seat of intuition and personal power. Perhaps you felt that knot in your gut, a pressure you can't explain, or waves of nausea that come and go without any clear reason. You may even have moments of vomiting, as though something deep within is being expelled. And indeed it is. This is your solar-plexus being purified. This energy center, tied to identity, power, and personal truth, holds many of your emotional wounds. As those old energies are burned away, your body responds, releasing what no longer aligns with who you're becoming. Proverbs 4:22 speaks of God's truth, saying, "They are life to those who find them and health to one's whole body." That health often comes after release, after detox. The vomiting is not just physical, it's spiritual, an expulsion of what you've silently carried for too long. And then come the changes to your senses. Suddenly, light feels too bright, sounds are too loud, foods that once brought comfort now upset your stomach. Why? Because your frequency is rising, and everything in your reality must rise with you. Your body is filtering out the dense, the toxic, and the outdated. The discomfort is simply the price of clarity. John 9:25 offers a reminder of what transformation feels like. "One thing I do know, I was blind, but now I see." And isn't that your truth too? Where once you lived numb and disconnected, now your senses are alive. Where once you tolerated imbalance, now your body demands alignment. The physical body responds to ascension in various ways. Have you ever woken up with pain in your joints or muscles, even though you didn't strain or injure yourself? Has your body felt heavy, as if weighed down by something invisible? As one of God's chosen ones, this sensation is not a sign that something is wrong. It's a sign that something holy is happening within you. Your body is not resisting, it's realigning. When divine frequencies begin to move through your system, your physical frame must stretch to hold them. This stretching, though invisible, is real. Your muscles may ache, your joints may feel stiff, and your skin may even tingle. But this discomfort isn't rooted in injury, it's rooted in spiritual integration. Romans 12:1 urges us, "Offer your bodies as a living sacrifice, holy and pleasing to God. This is your true and proper worship." And this offering includes enduring the temporary discomfort that comes from carrying more divine light. Muscle tension is often one of the first signs of energetic realignment. As your spirit breaks free from the old patterns that once defined you, your body stores and processes this shift through physical sensation. What once felt stable now feels stirred. But that tension is not chaos, it is construction. Your nervous system is recalibrating, your cells are responding to new instructions, and your spirit is expanding into your form. This process is not foreign to those who have walked spiritual paths before you. Take Maya Deren, the legendary filmmaker and spiritual explorer. During her mystic experiences, she reported feeling strange sensations in her body. including tension, vibration, and sudden aches, sensation she later attributed to energetic shifts. Or look at spiritual healer and author Anita Moorjani, who went through a near-death experience that radically transformed her body. After coming back, her senses were heightened, her energy different, and her body began reacting to subtle vibrations she never noticed before. And musician John Batiste, during a recent season of personal and spiritual upheaval, described periods of fatigue, pain, and energetic disconnection, moments he later recognized as part of his deeper transformation. So why do the lights suddenly seem brighter? Why do ordinary sounds feel like noise piercing into your bones? This is not hypersensitivity, it's spiritual sensitivity. Your body is now tuned in to layers of reality that the average person never perceives. Isaiah 30:21 gives a glimpse of this awakening. Whether you turn to the right or to the left, your ears will hear a voice behind you saying, "This is the way, walk in it." That voice doesn't shout, it whispers. And now, because of your sensitivity, you can hear it. You may even find that certain smells, perfumes, or environments begin to feel overwhelming. Your senses are no longer dulled by the noise of the world. They are sharp, alive, alert. The Spirit is refining your discernment, not just spiritually, but physically. You're not just sensing energy, you're learning to read it, feel it, and respond to it. Psalm 34 verse 8 invites us, "Taste and see that the Lord is good. Blessed is the one who takes refuge in him." And in this new vibration, even your taste may change. Foods you once craved now feel heavy. Others, natural, clean, or simple, suddenly feel energizing. This is your body choosing what aligns with your light. At first, this heightened sensitivity can feel disorienting. You may ask, why am I reacting so strongly to things that never bothered me before? Why does the world suddenly feel so loud, so bright, so invasive? But over time, you'll realize that this sensitivity is a spiritual gift, one that allows you to navigate life with clarity and alignment. You're no longer numb to the subtle cues of energy. You are attuned to them. 1 Corinthians 2:14 explains this shift well. The person without the Spirit does not accept the things that come from the Spirit of God, but the person with the Spirit makes judgments about all things. You're no longer operating at surface level. You're seeing into the deeper rhythm of everything around you. Chosen one, the need for isolation is also a symptom. But have you found yourself suddenly craving silence? Do crowded places now feel like chaos to your soul, and simple conversations leave you drained? You're not imagining things. This pull towards solitude isn't a flaw in your character. It's evidence of your transformation. As your spirit rises to a new vibration, your system becomes more sensitive to energy, and anything that is not aligned with your light becomes uncomfortable. What once felt familiar now feels foreign. This withdrawal from the world is not a retreat. It's a sacred recalibration. Mark 6:31 tells us that even Jesus said to his disciples, "Come with me by yourselves to a quiet place and get some rest." Solitude isn't weakness, it's where God whispers. It's where the divine can reach you without distraction. And as you go through ascension, that sacred stillness becomes your protection. You might wonder, why can't I handle social settings like I used to? Why do certain people exhaust me now, even those I once loved being around? The answer is energetic. You are no longer operating on the same frequency. Your spirit is no longer willing to entertain what your soul has outgrown. The people or environments that once felt neutral now feel heavy, because your discernment is increasing. Even renowned poet and activist Audre Lorde once said, "When I dare to be powerful, it becomes less and less important whether I am afraid." Her most powerful work came after long periods of isolation, introspection, and spiritual fatigue, because she was shedding layers to become something greater. Similarly, actor Keanu Reeves is known for his mysterious quietness and detachment from fame. Behind that, however, is a deep spiritual awareness. He's spoken about grief, loss, and the way isolation has helped him realign his life. And singer Sinead O'Connor, known for her spiritual journey and public battles, often disappeared from the spotlight, not in weakness, but in sacred self-preservation during periods of intense internal change. Chosen one, if you feel exhausted, even after a full night's sleep, it's not because you're lazy or sick. It's because Ascension takes energy, immense energy. You are holding frequencies that most people will never touch in their lifetime. That kind of light burns through your system like divine fire, purifying as it transforms. Isaiah 40:29 says, "He gives strength to the weary and increases the power of the weak." And he will. But first, your vessel must be cleared of what cannot sustain the new energy. And so, you may wake up feeling like you haven't rested at all. You may drink your coffee, take your vitamins, stretch, and still feel drained. Why? Because this fatigue is not physical, it is energetic. This isn't about sleep, it's about spiritual restoration. It's the cost of carrying divine light. You may also notice unexpected mood swings, waves of peace followed by clouds of sorrow. One moment, you feel in perfect alignment. The next, frustration or grief appears without explanation. And again, this doesn't mean you're unstable. It means you're healing. Psalm 34:18 offers comfort in this turbulence. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. These emotional fluctuations are not random. They're purging decades of suppressed emotions and trauma that your soul can no longer carry. Have you noticed that old memories rise up suddenly, or that you cry without reason, or feel irritation from things that never used to bother you? This is the sacred detox. Everything buried must be brought to the surface to be released. John 15:3 reminds us, "You are already clean because of the word I have spoken to you." And that cleansing includes the emotional body. Chosen one, each symptom of ascension has a purpose. Have you ever paused to ask yourself why certain pains or discomforts seem to come out of nowhere, only to vanish without reason? Why does your body feel like it's shifting, even though nothing on the outside has changed? These are not coincidences. As one of God's chosen, your body is in a holy dance with your spirit. Every ache, every wave of tiredness, every moment of emotional intensity is part of your inner alignment with a higher vibration. You're not just changing mentally or emotionally. You're being transformed in the deepest fibers of your being. Your cells are responding to the call of your soul. This recalibration isn't always easy, nor is it predictable. First, Peter 5:10 gives us this reminder. "And the God of all grace, who called you to his eternal glory in Christ, will himself restore you and make you strong, firm, and steadfast." This promise doesn't deny the hardship. It assures you that God is guiding you through it. The truth is, there is no set time frame for this sacred transition. For some, symptoms of ascension arrive like passing clouds, intense but brief. For others, they linger for weeks or months, arriving in waves like spiritual contractions. But no matter the duration, the purpose is the same: to draw you closer to your true self and your divine calling. Think of Helen Keller, who lost her sight and hearing as a child and spent years in what felt like a dark void. Yet through persistence, patience, and the guidance of her teacher, Anne Sullivan, she emerged as a voice of spiritual insight, writing about inner transformation and the unseen world. Her symptoms lasted a lifetime, but her soul soared beyond them. Or think of Sam Smith, the singer-songwriter who openly shared his spiritual journey, emotional highs and lows, and physical struggles. Behind his artistic brilliance was a body and heart processing energies far deeper than most could see. And consider the story of neuroscientist Dr. Jill Bolte Taylor, who experienced a stroke that silenced the analytical part of her brain, leading to an overwhelming awareness of spiritual presence and energy. Her physical collapse became her gateway to divine consciousness. So when your body feels heavy or your emotions swing without warning, ask yourself, what part of me is being awakened? What is God trying to align within me that I cannot yet fully see? Your discomfort may be sacred dialogue. These symptoms, though uncomfortable, are not punishments. They are signs of progress. Your body is not breaking down. It is being rebuilt to house more light. You are being shaped to carry revelation, wisdom, discernment, and divine authority. 2 Corinthians 4:17 says, "For our light and momentary troubles are achieving for us an eternal glory that far outweighs them all." This is not just pain, it is preparation. As your soul stretches toward the light, your body reshapes itself to carry it. You may feel exhausted, overwhelmed, and even emotionally unstable at times, but underneath it all, something holy is being written into your bones. And yet, let us not forget, while you walk this path of spiritual ascension, your physical body remains a temple, one that deserves care, attention, and compassion. It is not weakness to seek help, it is wisdom. 1 Corinthians 6:19 reminds us, "Do you not know that your bodies are temples of the Holy Spirit, who is in you? That temple must be honored even in transformation." So if the symptoms become overwhelming, if the fatigue becomes too deep, or the discomfort begins to interfere with daily life, it's not unspiritual to seek medical guidance. Sometimes what appears as ascension may reveal an underlying imbalance that also needs tending. The spiritual and the physical are not enemies. They are partners in your divine evolution. Your well-being matters to heaven. God's transformation in you is not meant to destroy, it is meant to elevate. And elevation is most powerful when built on a foundation of balance. Understanding the symptoms of ascension helps you move through this sacred phase with greater awareness. Have you ever felt something stirring in your stomach? A sudden tightness, a wave of discomfort, a feeling you couldn't quite name, only to wonder where it came from? Have you sensed that these moments aren't merely physical, but deeply spiritual? As one of God's chosen ones, your body is speaking a language your soul already understands. The language of transformation. When you begin to see these symptoms not as random disturbances, but as signs of divine growth, everything changes. You no longer resist the discomfort, you revere it. You no longer fear the sensations, you learn from them. John 14:26 reminds us, "But the Advocate, the Holy Spirit, will teach you all things." And often that teaching comes not just through visions and whispers, but through the wisdom of the body itself. Each chosen one walks this journey uniquely, yet all are woven together by the same sacred thread, transformation. And that transformation doesn't happen somewhere far away. It begins within the temple of your own flesh. The body is a mirror of the energy field. Every ache, every twitch, every pang is often tied to something deeper than we realize. When the stomach knots up without warning, when nausea rises without cause, or when that strange unease coils inside you, what if it's not your digestion failing you, but your soul purifying itself? Proverbs 20:27 speaks to this truth. The spirit of man is the lamp of the Lord, searching all his innermost parts. Your stomach is not malfunctioning, it is revealing. It is processing more than food. It is digesting emotion, memory, trauma, and even the energy of those around you. One of the most sensitive energy centers in your body is your solar-plexus chakra, located right where that knot tends to form. This chakra governs identity, self-worth, and personal power. During spiritual ascension, this chakra doesn't stay dormant. It comes alive. It becomes a filter, receiving, absorbing, and sorting through emotional and energetic data, not only from your own past, but from your present environment. Think of Glennon Doyle, the activist and best-selling author who speaks often about her gut instincts, how her body would tighten in situations that her mind couldn't explain. It was in trusting those signals that she found her truth. Or consider Bruce Lee, who believed the body was a reflection of the spirit. He trained not only his muscles but his energy, sensing when something within him was out of alignment and using motion, breath, and stillness to find recalibration. And closer to our time, we look at singer Florence Welch of Florence Plus the Machine, who openly shares how her battles with anxiety often show up physically, especially in her stomach. She calls it a barometer for emotional and spiritual shifts. Have you ever experienced that? You're going about your day, and suddenly a heavy feeling hits your gut. No food triggered it, no emotions seem present, and yet it's there. That's not a random moment, it's the residue of something surfacing. Psalm 139, verses 23 to 24, offers the invitation, "Search me, God, and know my heart. See if there is any offensive way in me, and lead me in the way everlasting." In these moments, God is not punishing you, He is purifying you. It might be suppressed emotions from your past. Maybe you're holding on to a belief that no longer serves you, or perhaps you've unknowingly absorbed energy from someone near you, energy your soul refuses to carry anymore. As your vibration rises, your spiritual immune system becomes more reactive to anything that doesn't align with your evolving frequency. And here's the sacred truth. Your body becomes the vessel through which this old weight is released. The stomach acts as the gatekeeper of your transformation. When old traumas, fears, and beliefs surface, they don't just leave your mind, they pass through your body. 2 Corinthians 7:1 urges us, "Let us purify ourselves from everything that contaminates body and spirit, perfecting holiness out of reverence for God." The stomach, being one of the main points of emotional storage, is one of the first to react. Chosen one, have you ever felt a knot in your stomach moments before a decision that would shift your path forever? Have you lost your appetite in seasons of emotional stress, even though your body needed nourishment? These are not random reactions, they are sacred signals. Your stomach is not just a digestive organ, it's an emotional compass. It knows when your soul is unsettled, and during Ascension, it becomes one of the most active channels through which your inner transformation is expressed. The connection between your emotions and your digestive system runs deeper than science alone can explain. Proverbs 17:22 reminds us, "A cheerful heart is good medicine, but a crushed spirit dries up the bones." If the heart can heal or harm the body, imagine the depth of influence your inner world has on your stomach, which holds so much unspoken truth. As you ascend, that influence magnifies. Have you noticed how your stomach tightens right after prayer, meditation, or moments of intense introspection? Have you felt nausea arise without any physical cause, immediately following a spiritual breakthrough or emotional release? That's not coincidence. That's energetic purification. Your body is releasing the dense, the outdated, the untrue. Just as vomiting removes physical toxins from your body, nausea and digestive tension during Ascension serve as a spiritual purge. Luke 11:34 says, "Your eye is the lamp of your body. When your eyes are healthy, your whole body also is full of light." But for your body to be filled with light, it must first make room by expelling what no longer serves. Many chosen ones report this strange stomach sensation after profound spiritual experiences. The reason is clear. Powerful spiritual practices awaken dormant energy centers and stir up stagnant frequencies. As the energy field begins to shift, what was once hidden in the shadows must come into the light. This process isn't always peaceful. Sometimes it moves through the stomach, where it's processed, felt, and finally released. Consider Eckhart Tolle, who famously described a radical spiritual awakening that began after a deep inner breakdown. For days, his body responded with shaking, nausea, and even vomiting. But what emerged from that experience was a new level of consciousness, one that changed his life and the lives of millions. Or look at world-renowned dancer and activist Michaela de Prince, who overcame trauma and hardship so profound that it once made her physically ill. But through movement, introspection, and spiritual resilience, she transformed that pain into power. And don't overlook the late fashion icon Alexander McQueen, who channeled years of inner emotional and spiritual turbulence into his art, while also battling intense physical symptoms, including digestive issues, during his most transformative creative phases. So, chosen one, when you feel that knot in your stomach after journaling, fasting, praying, or simply sitting in silence with God, ask yourself, what is being stirred inside of me right now? What am I finally ready to let go of? Your solar plexus, the center of your self-worth, identity, and personal truth, is being activated. This is not simply an energy center, it is the command center for your interaction with the world. When you begin shedding old roles, questioning inherited beliefs, or cutting ties with limiting systems, you're not just changing your mind, you're shifting your frequency. And your stomach, your solar plexus, feels it first. Isaiah 43:19 declares, "See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it?" That new thing isn't always seen in external events. Often it's first perceived through the subtle signals of the body: tightness, nausea, release. It's easy to mistake these signs for sickness, but the truth is your body is not breaking, it's breaking through. Each wave of discomfort is a sign that your inner house is being cleaned, your spiritual channels cleared, and your identity restructured around truth instead of fear. 2 Corinthians 5:17 reminds us, "If anyone is in Christ, the new creation has come, the old has gone, the new is here. And for something new to be born, the old must be digested, processed, and released, often right through the gut." Chosen one, your body is adjusting its vibrations so they can align with your new consciousness. But have you asked yourself why this shift feels so intense? Why something as simple as a meal, a breath, or a moment of silence can suddenly bring either deep peace or unexpected discomfort? It's because your entire being is undergoing a divine recalibration. You're no longer who you once were, and your body knows it. Every cell is responding to your soul's elevation. This process can be uncomfortable, yes, but it is not punishment. It is sacred preparation. Romans 12:2 urges us, "Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind." But that renewal doesn't stop at your thoughts. It reaches deep into your nervous system, your gut, your breath, and your bones. So, what can you do in these moments of unease? Begin with your breath. Conscious breathing isn't just a wellness practice, it's a spiritual key. Inhale deeply through your nose, hold the breath in stillness, and exhale slowly through your mouth. Feel the release, the tension melts, the energy begins to flow again. Job 33:4 reminds us, "The Spirit of God has made me. The breath of the Almighty gives me life." In each breath, you return to your center. In each breath, God whispers peace into your body. Place your hands gently over your stomach, the center of your solar plexus, and visualize golden light radiating from your palms. Imagine that divine light penetrating deep into your gut, dissolving fear, clearing energetic debris, and restoring balance. You are not imagining this light, you are aligning with it. Even what you eat now holds new spiritual significance. During periods of intense ascension, your body seeks simplicity. It wants purity. Have you noticed that heavy, processed foods make you feel off-center or fatigued? That your appetite shifts toward lighter, cleaner, earth-born nourishment? That's because your digestive system is no longer just filtering food, it's filtering energy. 1 Corinthians 10:31 reminds us, "So, whether you eat or drink or whatever you do it all for the glory of God." Eating becomes an act of alignment. Even ancient prophets practiced sacred diets during spiritual preparation. Daniel, for instance, fasted and consumed only vegetables and water for a season of purification. Daniel 1:12. His clarity, strength, and divine connection increased, not by accident, but through intentional consumption that honored his spiritual calling. You're experiencing something similar when you choose foods that support your vibration: fruits, greens, herbal teas, whole grains. You're not just feeding your body, you're feeding the new version of you. Essential oils too can assist in this recalibration. Lavender, peppermint, lemon. Each one carries frequencies that communicate directly with your nervous system. They help ease tension in the solar-plexus and promote clarity, peace, and spiritual grounding. These gifts from the earth are not luxuries, they are tools. God placed healing in creation for a reason. Ezekiel 47:12 speaks of this mystery. Their fruit will be for food, and their leaves for healing. Think of someone like poet Mary Oliver, who spent much of her life walking through nature in quiet reflection. Her words, filled with divine insight, were born from the earth itself. Nature didn't just inspire her, it healed her. Or look at actor and spiritual seeker Russell Brand, who often speaks of walking barefoot on the ground, connecting with the energy of the earth to calm his system during awakenings. Even tech visionary Jack Dorsey, founder of Twitter, advocates nature immersion and conscious breathing as daily anchors for his well-being amid rapid inner change. So when your stomach tightens or your energy feels scattered, step outside. Feel the wind. Touch the soil. Listen to the silence beneath the noise. Psalm 121, 1-2 invites us. I lift up my eyes to the mountains. Where does my help come from? My help comes from the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth. That help is found in stillness, in simplicity, in surrender. And above all, remember, this sensation of tightness, this knot in your stomach, this weariness, it is temporary. It is not a curse. It is not failure. It is your body doing what it was designed to do, transform alongside your soul. Many chosen ones go through this process without truly understanding what is happening. Have you found yourself spiraling into worry because your body feels off, yet medical tests say you're fine? Have you been told it's just stress, when deep inside you know something more profound is unfolding? You're not alone. As one of God's chosen, your body is not failing, it's transforming. But because this process is so unfamiliar, it can be easy to confuse divine realignment with physical illness. Of course, seeking professional medical care is vital. Spiritual growth never asks you to neglect your body, it calls you to honor it. 1 Corinthians 3:16-17 says, "Don't you know that you yourselves are God's temple, and that God's Spirit dwells in your midst? For God's temple is sacred, and you together are that temple." When symptoms arise, dizziness, migraines, nausea, extreme sensitivity, it is wise to rule out medical causes. But if no physical explanation is found, you must begin to consider the deeper truth. Your soul is ascending, and your body is catching up. This recalibration of energy is not light work. It reaches into the nervous system, the mind, the emotional body, and the spirit. Old trauma rises. Buried emotions surface. Energetic debris is stirred up and must be cleared. As Psalm 139, verses 23-24, beautifully prays, "Search me, God, and know my heart. See if there is any offensive way in me, and lead me in the way everlasting." The divine is not only searching your heart, it is cleansing it. These internal shifts can manifest as headaches, tension, weakness, or insomnia. You may feel like your body is under siege, yet your lab results show nothing. This paradox can feel maddening. But what if the realignment is not meant to be understood by logic, but felt by the spirit? Think of it like a spiritual detox. As the light increases within you, everything that no longer resonates must be released, sometimes painfully. Even the great Nelson Mandela shared in his autobiography how, during his years in prison, he experienced waves of physical sickness that could not be explained, moments when his body broke down as he simultaneously found strength in his soul. His transformation wasn't just political, it was spiritual. Or look at the artist Georgia O'Keeffe, who suffered from mysterious, cyclical illnesses during periods of intense creative awakening. Though misunderstood by many, she described these moments as internal storms, eventually producing her most profound art. And in modern times, spiritual teacher Teal Swan often speaks of being misdiagnosed in her youth, while experiencing intense, energetic surges that the medical world could not identify, until she realized they were part of her awakening. So, what happens when the spiritual and physical overlap? When your body becomes the battlefield of your evolution? The answer is found in balance. James 1:5 reminds us, "If any of you lacks wisdom, you should ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault." You are called not just to endure, but to discern. There is nothing spiritual about denying true pain. Spiritual ascension should never become an excuse to avoid necessary medical care. If symptoms are frequent, intense, or debilitating, such as prolonged fever, breathing difficulties, chest tightness, or continuous fatigue, you must seek help. God gave us both divine intuition and earthly support. Ignoring the body does not make you more evolved. It only places unnecessary burden on your temple. Some may fear that doctors won't understand the spiritual side, but don't let that fear silence your responsibility. Luke 5:31 says, "It is not the healthy who need a doctor, but the sick." And this includes you. Even when the cause is energetic, you can hold spiritual truth while still seeking physical healing. There is no shame in honoring both worlds. The spiritual and the physical are not in conflict. They are allies. It is fully possible to pursue energetic practices like breathwork, prayer, grounding, or meditation, while also taking medication, getting checkups, and supporting your body through nutrition and rest. Proverbs 3:7-8 affirms this truth. "Do not be wise in your own eyes. Fear the Lord and shun evil." This will bring health to your body and nourishment to your bones. Ascension is not a path of perpetual suffering. It is a path of growth, guided by grace. And growth, while uncomfortable, should not destroy the vessel you are called to carry. So ask yourself, chosen one, have I mistaken persistent pain for spiritual purification? Am I ignoring a call to care for my physical health because I fear it will invalidate my spiritual path? True awakening includes humility. True elevation includes responsibility. And never forget, you are not alone in this. Sharing your experience can be healing for others walking through the same fog. You may find that your voice becomes their clarity, your healing becomes their hope. So breathe, seek wisdom, honor your body, and allow both heaven and earth to walk with you on this sacred balance path. My beloved souls, have you ever felt any of these symptoms stirring within you? Those sudden waves of dizziness, the unexplained fatigue, the emotional storms that rise and fall without logic, or that persistent knot in your stomach that no doctor can define. These are not just passing discomforts. They are spiritual whispers, signs that your soul is breaking through layers of limitation and stepping into divine expansion. If you've ever sat in the silence of your room, hands on your heart, wondering, Am I going crazy, or is something sacred happening to me? Know this, you are not alone. You are awakening, you are shifting, you are being called. I want to invite you, chosen one, to share your story in the comments below. How have you experienced this path of ascension? What symptoms have you faced? What questions still burn within you? Don't underestimate the power of your voice. Your story, your honesty, your truth could be the very light that guides another soul through their darkest hour. Together, let us turn this space into a spiritual sanctuary, a circle of truth, healing, and sacred remembrance. If this message has resonated with you, if it has brought clarity to what you felt but never had words for, please give it a like. It helps this message reach others who may be silently struggling. Share it with someone, maybe a friend, a sibling, or a soul you know is changing quietly behind the scenes. You might just be the confirmation they've been praying for. And if you haven't yet subscribed, I warmly invite you to do so. This channel is a place of continual revelation where we go beyond surface spirituality and dive into the soul, exploring what it truly means to awaken, to heal, and to return home to God. To those of you who have supported this mission through the Super Thanks feature, thank you from the depths of my heart. Your generosity helps sustain this sacred work and allows these messages to reach more souls around the world. But even if you don't donate, even if you simply listen in silence or press replay when your heart needs reassurance, please know this: your presence here is enough. You are deeply appreciated. You are seen. You are cherished. This space is not built on money. It's built on truth, resonance, and love. As you walk forward in your journey, I pray that divine light goes before you and divine peace wraps gently around you. May your mind be clear, your heart be strong, and your body be guided gently through every phase of transition. May your nights be restful, your emotions understood, and your soul feel held, especially when things feel overwhelming. Let your spirit breathe. Let your body rest. Let yourself receive the grace that is already surrounding you. And if ever you begin to doubt your path, if the symptoms return or the world feels too heavy, come back to this space. Rewatch this message. Reconnect with these words. Sometimes we don't need more information. We just need remembrance. You are a divine vessel, chosen not by chance but by purpose. You carry light through your scars. You lead others by being authentic. And you are exactly where you need to be in this moment on this sacred path. I'll see you in the next video, where we'll continue uncovering the deeper truths your soul has always known. Until then, stay grounded, stay open, and above all, stay blessed. Chosen one, always.